Water is actually one of the most amazing substances on the planet because it's the only substance that we know of whereby the solid, i.e. ice, is actually lighter than the liquid. So when it freezes, it floats to the surface and sits on the surface. And there you can see all this ice floating on its liquid. And that's important because if you think about it, if the oceans froze from the bottom upwards, you would have a constantly locked ocean. So in the Arctic Ocean, you can have 10, 20 meters of ice on top of the ocean. It then acts like a blanket. It insulates the ocean underneath from the atmosphere. But it can't get any colder and it can't freeze, so it stays super chilled at the bottom of the ocean. So your water underneath can still flow and move, even though it's got huge chunks of ice on top. The way oceans actually circulate is that cold, salty water sinks, and this in the Nordic seas where we are here is where it all starts, because what you have is warm salty water coming from the Gulf of Mexico all the way past Europe into the Nordic seas and into the area around Spitsbergen. Now the most important process here is it cools down, the water freezes. You can see sea ice forming all around, and as it freezes all the salt in the water is released, so it makes the actual water underneath even saltier than it was previously. And so you've got highly salty water, it's very cold, so it starts to sink. And all this water sinking here will flow all the way down the Atlantic, starting the whole conveyor belt, as it's called, round Antarctica, into the Indian Ocean and into the Pacific, until the point that it's forced against the continent to have to rise when it mixes with warm water and warms up again.